Hey y'all, it is August the 15th, 2018. I just wanted to holler at y'all real quick, let you know, let everybody out there know who's concerned. I've been busy, as soon as sometimes we get carried away with stuff. So, obviously I just want to let y'all know that I've been busy, alright? Probably going to put out a video or two before the day is out. I want to let y'all know about that. And I wanted to take some time out, shoot this brief video while I have a little bit of time here on the couch. I wanted to talk with y'all about a couple of things. One, I'm kind of inspired to make this particular video because of a comment that I received earlier. And we're going to describe that comment, but also I want to touch upon a topic that we're very much involved with right now. We're thinking a lot about right now, and that is voices. All right, in reference to Nicholas Cruz, Parkland. But a lot of people out there, in reference to a lot of people out there. All right. There's all sort of people out there, right? And I have no idea what's going on to all these people. Not even just in this country, but all around the world. I don't know. But I can tell you this. A lot of them hear voices. Right? And that would seem to be a keynote or whatever. That was a takeaway for that confession or whatever it was. Interrogation, that discussion took place. John Corcio, Nicholas Cruz. Voices. I wanted to talk about that. I think it's imperative. But before I do, like I said, I want to reference a comment that I received earlier. It's actually from my bro, El Nino. El Nino, he left me a comment. He was talking about this and that. And he liked, number one, he liked the new intro. I don't know. A lot of people like the intro. Thing is, just to let y'all know, this really doesn't make any difference. But yeah, I threw an intro on there. I put an intro on some of my videos and stuff, man, because, well, I think it's a good idea. I don't know. I got the idea from a couple of different people. There's Uncle Hotep, there's Mark Dyson. They start their videos off with them laughing. And it's it gets people in the right mode, because I got to assure you that most of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you about on the videos, whether you know it or not, it's going to be absurd. Right? It's going to make you want to laugh or cry, or laugh until you start crying. So I kind of set the precedent, and that's with the intro, and I wanted to make it short and this and that. People like the intro. Like, I don't know. I'm flattered. Anyways, he's talking about, he was thinking about doing a thing. I don't know if it was like a podcast, perhaps a radio transmission. I don't know. He was talking about making one in reference to societal priorities, I believe. And he said, what are my thoughts on it? Things of this nature. And surely I'm going to write back. But the thing is, I wanted to go ahead and make a video about it. That's for anybody, for everybody who might be considering that kind of stuff out there. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you right now. I think it's crucial. That's why I'm making this video. If you have the idea of going on the internet and saying some things, speaking your mind or getting it off your chest, or whatever you're trying to do, I want to let you know that's an amazing idea. That's a really, really good idea. You should do that. All right. And that goes for anybody in general. Now, El Nino, y'all don't know, but El Nino, he just so happens to be one of the deepest people I've ever met in my life. All right, so obviously, to tell him it's going to be a good idea, that would be a good idea. Surely it would be a good idea, obviously. But the thing is, what I wanted to talk about right now is voices. All right? Because like I said, there's people out there by the millions, surely, who hear voices of different sorts. Now, they could be targeted individuals, and we've been talking about that. A lot of people are very uncomfortable about hearing about that, but there are those people or people who are alleged targeted individuals. And then there's people and they hear all sort of different voices. To be sure, it's like a lot of different voices. I'm sure of it. Nick Cruz, for example, her voice he heard one voice, a voice he didn't even recognize, right? Except for it being the voice in his head, all right? Some people, I'm sure, hear one voice or voices, and they don't recognize them. They're like, "Who is this?" They get very overwhelmed by it. I'm sure. I've never really succumbed to those kind of voices. I haven't heard those kind of voices, to be honest with you. Some people will hear different kind of voices, like maybe the voice of their parents, voice of a loved one, things of this nature. There'll be that kind of voices. And I would have to imagine that the great majority of people, when they hear voices in their head, well, number one, they'll say, "Oh, that was God," or this and that, or someone spoke to me, or they'll say, "That's my voice." A lot of times people will hear their own voice. I'm sure I hear my own voice all the time in my head, personally. So I would have to assume there's a lot of people who hear their own voice. What I'm here to suggest to you right now is that irregardless of what the voice is, could sound like your most favorite person on earth. Well, it doesn't matter. Could sound like you. Could sound like some angel from on high speaking to you. Sound like a demon, like Nick Cruz was describing. It could sound like any sort of number of things. I'm here to suggest to you is that voice, don't even worry about that voice. Don't even think about that voice. A good way to describe what I'm suggesting is to view it like if you've ever seen a movie, for example. If you've ever seen a movie, you kind of get caught up in the movie. You kind of get involved in the movie. You forget about whatever's going on in your real life, and you kind of dive into that movie. You watch it, but you're fully aware that you're watching a movie. You know that you're not actually in the movie, that you're watching it. You're observing it. All right, you're like an outside observer. What I would suggest for anybody is to just observe those voices, that voice in your head. When you're thinking those thoughts that you think all the time, you're endlessly thinking thoughts. What I want to suggest for anybody to try to do out there, if you can, is just to see them, just to observe them, these thoughts. You'll hear voices. The reason I bring it up is because I'm sure, and a lot of people don't understand this. First of all, I'm talking to a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people probably seeing this video for whatever reason, and they're considering what's going on the internet and expressing their thoughts and views and stuff like that. They hear a voice. I don't know what the voice sounds like that they're hearing, but the voice, I can assure you, tells you, "Nah, you shouldn't do that. Because of this reason. You shouldn't do it because of that reason." I don't think people want to hear it. See, the voice is going to sound something like that, like, you can't do that. You can't speak. You can't speak on this. You're going to embarrass yourself. Something like that. That's what the voice says. All right? How did I know that? I've heard that voice plenty of times. Kind of the difference between people who've done it and people who are thinking about doing it. The difference is just kind of learn to not even pay heed to that voice, to not even pay attention to that voice. And there's certain methods that people take. Surely, everybody's got their individual way that they overcome. Even if they hear that voice, just to not even pay attention to it. There's a voice telling you to not do it. And it goes for not only like people who want to get on the internet and express their thoughts, but it goes for anybody. whatever it is that you think about doing, you think, oh man, I think I could do that. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. But there's a voice telling you to not do it. And you're listening to it. You shouldn't listen to any voice in your head. And we can go off on a tangent to a whole different other video, but basically you should listen to God, and God, He's not going to talk to you, not in no kind of voice. He's going to reveal to you everything that you need to know. All right, but that's a whole different other video. Now, to be specific, before we get out of here, to be specific, as far as going on the internet and talking and expressing yourself, maybe talking at great length, maybe talking to different people at great length, whatever, I have to assure you that no matter what you've been told, a great constituency of people here in America, and I'm sure all over the world, their attention spans are actually expanding, right? And believe it or not, 2-hour-long podcasts are kind of all the rave these days. People who can talk at great length. People, I don't know, they'll listen to it in the car, they'll listen to it when they're running, or they'll listen to it when this and that, when they're doing the dishes. I don't know what they do it, but they do it. It's very, very popular. Right? I would suggest, here's the thing about it. There's different forums that you could do podcasts in. A lot of people understand that many podcasts, for example, Joe Rogan, the Rogan Experience and stuff, it kind of made its name over on YouTube, so they might be considering YouTube. You can technically go onto YouTube, but I had to discuss briefly with y'all that YouTube, quite surely, is committing suicide. You'd want to put your broadcast or your podcast probably on somewhere else than YouTube. And you might even put it on YouTube and somewhere else, because YouTube is going down, and it's just a matter of time, actually. And we can make a whole different other video about it, but just to be very brief, I'm not saying YouTube's going to be gone before the end of the year or anything like that. YouTube's going to stay around, but it's going to be an empty shell of what it used to be. All right. If you want to go to the internet and see little kitten videos or this and that, people pulling pranks on each other, well, then you're going to go to YouTube. But within a year or so from now, ain't nobody going to go to YouTube for podcasts, for this and that, for commentary, for political and social commentary and stuff like that. Hell no. Hell no. YouTube's already... See, that's the thing. YouTube done knocked a hole in its own boat, right? And it's going down. And meanwhile, the crew on YouTube, they're not even concerned about it, it seems. And it'll make you wonder why, but they're not even concerned about it. Like, for example, they just banned Alex Jones. And think whatever you will of them. They just banned someone who has tens of millions of followers on the world. Not only YouTube, but Facebook, Apple, and... list goes on. I don't really care. All these people banned Alex Jones, and that's not good for them. Really, it's leaving a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. For example, I'll give you another example. Lauren Southern, we talked about her. We talk about her from time to time. She recently just quit YouTube. She doesn't have to. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers. She decided, you know what? Who cares? Because YouTube is only holding her back at this point. That's really the truth of it. Lauren Southern, in her own personal regard, she is going to focus, she was saying, on full-length documentaries. And she's not going to really focus on the short video clips that you can kind of see on YouTube and stuff like this. She's going to go, and a lot of people are just going to switch it up. By the way, I do have a BitChute down there, and I need to get more into it. I'm going to start diving more into the BitChute as the days go on. And also, I think I have a DTube account that's coming. It's in the process of coming. I'll let y'all know about it. Everybody's getting off YouTube. That's one thing that I had to stress. You can get on YouTube, but know this. If you're talking about social commentary or political or this and that or the other, hell no. YouTube is just kind of a waste of your time. You might run in to YouTube and get some followers here and there and direct them to your BitChute account or direct them to your DTube account. There's a lot of different accounts. This and that. Just know that you're under attack. If you're trying to say things that that, if you're trying to say things at all, understand that politically, socially, you can get shut down by certain entities, and they mean to do it. And I have to let you know about that. This is the end of YouTube, by the way. All right? That is what it is. It's a sad, sad situation that actually YouTube could turn around right now today if they wanted to, but they don't want to. And it's disturbing. Meanwhile, this video, what I wanted to stress is the voices. Don't even listen to, because voice is going to hold you back. For example, before we get out of here, you might say, this guy right here can ramble on for, 15 minutes at a time. A lot of people find it kind of difficult to do that, to kind of ramble on for 15 minutes at a time, so they might get flustered. Trust me, I know what you're talking about. I've done all this before. I've been doing this for years, and it's not to say that I'm perfect at it, and I'm definitely not one of the best, but I can do it and things of this nature. What I have to assure you is that you're never going to be able to talk at great length without talking at great length. It is all about practice. You do have to say these words over and over and over again, and they're just going to come out after a while. And you might look at the people like Jordan Peterson, or you might look at certain intellectuals, Sam Smith, and you might say, oh man, they could talk at great length, just in great vivid detail and stuff like this. I don't know how they could do this, how could they do this? And I can't do this, and I'm not capable. It's like, you're very capable. It really all was practice. Jordan Peterson will tell you. Sam Smith will tell you. All these people, you have to really drive it home. And whether or not, I don't know, you do it in your off time or whatever you do, I would suggest to throw it on the internet, because people are going to like it. All right, I guarantee it. Before we get out of here, look at me. People are going to like it. People are really going to like it. They're really, really going to like it. I'm going to give you an example. Just to let y'all know, I do lay low on YouTube, right? I don't put tags, and my followers know this. I try to lay low. If I get more subscribers, I'm going to get kicked off of YouTube. I'm saying bad stuff, all right? YouTube doesn't like the stuff that I'm saying, all right? But just to let y'all know, man, there's people who's got whole YouTube channels that are dedicated to licking objects, like licking the couch, licking a school bus, licking, various free. It's stupid, and they got all sorts of subscribers. Right? There's people who have whole channels dedicated to whispering rap songs, and they got a whole lot of subscribers. Like, do you really think that you can put anything on the internet and that people aren't going to like it and really enjoy it? They're going to come out of the woodwork. All right, you just have to be ready for it, because it is going to be a lot of trolls involved. All right, don't say I didn't warn you. It's August the 15th, 2018. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just let me know and stuff. And surely, we're going to work out the technology to split screen and stuff like that. We're going to have conversations. I'm looking forward to it. I've had conversations before. We got to work out the technology. All right, holler at me, and I'll holler at y'all. It's August the 15th, 2018. I appreciate y'all.